folks, welcome back once again. I'm going to start on this, I want to call this Airline guitar. It's not Airline, it's a first act. And we're going to start on it today, and we're going to start with that right there. That jack's loose. And I'm going to show you a way not to tighten it. I wouldn't do that if I was plugged into a big amp or a big sound system. Always turn the amp off first or put it on standby. That was shorting out a lot worse than that a little bit ago. There you can hear it. We're going to take that jack out and look at it, tighten it up. It's loose. And I'm going to show you first off how not to tighten these output jacks. So let me get geared up and get you over here for that. First off, this is a perfect example of a screwdriver or any tool that does not fit. That's a Phillips head. I got a Phillips screwdriver, and you can see it's not really too big. It just, well, I guess it is too big a heavy a screwdriver and will not fit that. Now, I could force that in there and make it work and probably slip out and strip the screws. You see how that one fits. Always use a tool that fits no matter what you're doing. Get a tool that fits the job. I can never stress that enough. Oh yeah. And check this out. If you can see this, see how that's moving around there? See how loose it is? Hope the camera is getting that. I had a weird angle here. You don't want to just stick a wrench on that nut and start tightening it, because the thing's going to turn inside of there and you're going to rip wires and connections, and just all kind of chaos is going to happen if you try to do that. So it's best to just take the thing out where you can get a hold of it and hold it to keep it from turning. I think there's a loose wire on here anyway. No, there's no loose wire. I could have swore there was. Wow. It's just a dirty connector. I guess a dirty connection, but it needs tightened up anyway. See how that spins? If you go cranking on this, it's going to spin inside of there around and around. And it's going to probably break one of your wires off. So I can just hold it in my hand now. I think I can get on it with these pliers okay. Yeah, and it's good and tight. Very good and very tight. I want to find a small file and just run it through there a few times to clean that connection up. It was making a really dirty sound. I couldn't get it to do it very bad on camera, but before that it was doing it plenty bad. And I'll have to shut the camera off and go find a file that'll fit in there now. 1/4 inch rat tail file would be perfect. Now, I don't see one close, so hold on. The owner says a friend of his bought a Volkswagen, and she got this guitar. They gave it to her for buying the car, and she gave it to him. And let me zoom the camera out here and I'll show you. You see this 12th fret inlay right here, right there where my thumb is. You'll see it's VW, okay? And the truss rod cover has also got a VW on it. Now I looked these guitars up, and they are a little bit better guitar than you might give them credit for. Like I say, it has active pickups in it, and it's got a preamp built in there, and really boosts the signal big time. Okay, the owner says the frets feel high to him. Now I played this guitar and I don't really feel, don't really feel anything wrong with the frets, but he wants them fixed. I checked the truss rod, by the way. It works, and it was just laying in there loose completely. The end was almost ready to fall off. It was so loose. Tightened it up, got some back bow in the neck, and then tuned it back up, And I didn't even measure the neck relief or anything. Didn't measure anything. I will do that right now though. The action anyway. But we're going to do a fret job on it. He don't like the frets are way too high, he said. 5/64 on the bass side. 4/64 on the high E side at the 12th fret. Maybe I should measure that at the 17. Yeah, it's not much difference. Might be a little bit higher. But what we're going to do, I'm going to level all the frets. I need to read the radius and see what that is, and put the radius back in the frets. Now, one of you guys asked one time, why not just use the radius board to level the frets with? Well, you know, it does seem like an extra step to use something flat and level them like a sanding beam. That radius board's not consistent, and it's not going to be. It's just better to have a perfectly level surface to start with, then put your radius back in as lightly as you can, and go from there on the frets. But I get his point, talking about, you know, first leveling the frets, do it with the radius block. Yeah, I guess you could, but it would take forever, you know, unless you used a really high grit sandpaper, or low grit sandpaper rather. Anyways, I'll get the strings off of it. I'm going to have to go get batteries. Yeah. This thing's always dead when you need it. And I'll bring you back whenever we start to do the leveling. Well, we are working on a 16-inch radius. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. But it's 16 from the nut all the way down to the end of the fretboard. If you can see that, maybe, I don't know. It's a 16 radius, 16 inch. I have a 16-inch radius block here. It's already got sandpaper on it. And I've already colored the frets blue, as you can see. Now, a lot of people use I like to support the neck right in the center. You know, if you have it supported up here, chances are I'm going to use this. This is a diamond grit file, and I'm not going to push down on it, but there is a possibility of pushing it down and making relief in the neck as I file this way. So I'm not going to push down on it at all. I'm just going to lay it on there and scoot it back and forth. I don't want to, you know, file down over this pickup. Tape the pickup up because shavings and dust will, those magnets will, you know, suck that right up. But all I'm going to do is just start down here and just slowly, you know, I'm not applying any pressure at all, and I can already see exactly where the file is hitting. I hope the camera's picking that up. You can see, I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. Hold on. You see, by coloring the frets blue, I can see exactly where that file is hitting and where it's missing. Like it's missing this area right here. And you can see the silver spots. It missed all these on the ends. But you can see exactly where you filed and, you know, what's happening between the file and the fret. Blue's the only color to work. Red, green, yellow, purple, none of those other colors will work. It has to be blue. Now, y'all know better than that. There you can see the little Volkswagen emblem. VW. You got to buy a Volkswagen to own one of these guitars, so I'm told. Start filing lightly. Support the center of the neck so it doesn't, you know, push relief into it. And I'll bring you back when we've made some progress. So I already got the frets colored blue again. I done put the radius back in. I didn't fool with knocking the nut out. It's a tusk nut, I think, and it is cemented on there. So I got it done. I got them flat, and then I put the radius back in. And now I want to tell you about these crown files. I've got a lot of new subscribers that don't know about these, that have missed the other videos, probably haven't seen them. These are diamond grit files. I've got a medium and a narrow. And they're very expensive files. I got them from StuMac. You can look at the price yourself. Their marketing strategy on these is really kind of a low blow. I first ordered the medium. I mean, you order a medium, you would think, you know, medium frets, you'll need a medium crown file. Well, this medium crown file will work on these jumbo frets, and it'll work on electric bass frets and really huge frets. It will not work on medium frets. If your guitars have medium frets and you're going to do your frets yourself and you go to order one of these, get the narrow one because it fits almost everything, you know, under bass frets. And you know, I've even used this on small jumbo frets before, and I use it way more than I do this medium one. But they have the marketing strategy set up so you order the medium one and you pay for it, an arm and leg and left nut. And you get it and you realize, holy shit, that's way too big. That's not what I ordered. And you call them, they say, oh yeah, you can send it back in and trade. But what they'd really like you to do is what I did, keep it and buy another one. So anyways, just wanted to pass that along to you guys. If you ever order one of these, bear that in mind because they're going to stick you. Oh yeah, and there are 2 grits. This is 150 grit, this right here. Let me keep it that way. This is 150 grit. I can pop it out and turn it around. And now I have 300 grit. Okay? We'll start with the lower, rougher grit. And like I say, I've got these frets colored blue. And I just want to file down until there's a very slight, tiny, minute line of that blue left across the top of the fret. And these files make fretwork and do fretwork in short order. You don't need to dig very long with these. What else was I going to say about these? You got to go down every fret, of course, with the 150 grit, leaving that tiny line, blue line across the top. Then I'll sweep the vacuum it off, turn it around to 300 grit, go down every, I'll put blue on them again, go down every line again. And again, leaving that slight little tiny blue line across the top of the fret. See, that's all that takes with these files. They are super fast, man. I used to use those old style fret files, crowning files, and sometimes run into kind of a hard fret wire and take forever, man, putting the crown back in them. But with these, no worries. They are quick and they are clean. Just don't get caught up in that sales pitch that they have on them. These frets on this guitar are extremely soft, man. That's another reason these files are eating them up like plastic. So just explain what's going on here a little bit. I think you can see this. Yeah, this is 800 grit, 1000 grit, 1200 grit, 1500 grit, and 2000 grit. Got to take the 8. I'll have to cut more strips of these. That won't be enough. But just showing you how I started. I got a little fret protector here. And we begin to polish. I can hear the paper digging in when I first start to sand, and then it gets smooth, and I know I'm good. And we got to go down every fret here with the 800 grit. Do every single fret with the 800 grit, and then do every fret with 1000, every fret with 1200, every fret with 15, and finally every fret with 2000. And then we'll begin to polish. But I want to show you what I'm doing here. Try to explain it a little bit. I won't bore you completely to death with me doing this because it takes forever. But that's what's going on at the house that never sleeps. So I'm on the 2000 grit paper now. I had to cut some more. But this is the last one. After this, we'll clean it up and put the semi-chrome polish by Happich on here. and give you that mirror-like image that we all know and love so well. I know a lot of luthiers does not go through all these steps to get frets to look like a mirror, but I also know a lot of guitar players that get really mad when they bend a string. After a fret job, they bend a string and it doesn't just slide right over the string like a piece of glass. I'm one of those guitar players. I always like my, I like my frets to be slick. I'm sure everyone does. It's a horrid feeling, man, to bend a string and it just feels like you're sliding it across sandpaper. And like I say, a lot of guitar players get mad about that. If they pay you for a fret job and they get it back and they bend the string and it feels that way, they're going to show up again. A lot of luthiers around here do that. They just don't, go through all the steps. I can see instruments like maybe a mandolin. You wouldn't have to do this on, have the frets so slick and shiny. But guitars, some of them will come after you. Guitar players will come after you and bring that instrument back. I've heard of it happening a lot around here. I've never had one come back because I always take the time and do the steps. It takes forever, man. I'll admit it takes for friggin' ever. But a professional player will tell you, or expect their frets to be like glass if you do their frets for them. So that's just a little thing you might want to keep in mind if you do anyone else's frets besides your own. But like I say, when I do my own frets, I do this. I go through all the steps. Oh, my hands, man. You're going to get your hands a little bit dirty doing this job. These little fret protectors are sweet, man. Saves me from taping up. I get asked a whole lot, do you not tape the neck up, the fretboard? Yes, I do sometimes. If it's a really expensive instrument, I probably would tape the fretboard up. Especially if it was an expensive one that didn't belong to me. But usually I don't. Most of the time I don't. I usually use these, and then like I said before, if I put a little nick in the fretboard, I can fix it, and you'll never know the nick was there, guaranteed. I've done it before. Hold on. Well, there's the board all linseed oiled and frets done. I can never show you that there's no scratches because there's just too much reflection to be able to show you that. But there's no scratches here. There's a lot of reflection. That fretboard is beautiful, man. Some beautiful rosewood there. But anyways, I wanted to bring you and show you that. I got to wipe the linseed oil off of those frets. So I rubbed the linseed oil on. And rubbed it off. Now I got to get it, after it sets a little bit more, I get a rag and go over these frets again. But it looks beautiful, man. Just, you can see everything reflecting in those frets. Shiny like a piece of mirror. I don't know how long this video is, so I'm going to say cheers to you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Next video, we'll string it up, set intonation, neck relief, check the nut action, check the electronics, and just check everything out tomorrow and see what it needs. In the next video, yeah, tomorrow it'll be. So cheers to y'all. Thanks for hanging with me through this. I hope maybe you got some thrill or something out of this. Cue Ball just made the scene. Cheers. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.